Right. Do you think Coach K handled it right way?
No, I think Coach K, and again, I want to be clear on this. I like Coach K, respect Coach K. He's a very successful coach. But he's on a high horse right now, and he's starting to feel a little bit like his mentor, Bobby Knight, the guy that coached him in college, started his coaching career. He's above everyone else. He's preaching down. He sounded condescending. He summoned the other team's coach and player over to his locker room so that Grayson could apologize. Coach K needs to check himself before he wrecks himself. Again, he's sounds condescending. This reminds me of Bobby Knight. He's smarter than everybody else in the room. The tripping deal is one thing, and there are other issues going on here with Grayson Allen and the abuse of white Duke players that I think Coach K is reacting to. But to me, what put it over the top was the tantrum on the sidelines afterwards. I don't know how he put him back in the game.
But let me defend Coach K on this. Don't you have a right, parent, boss, coach, to have a night's sleep, to see the tape, to talk to administrators, to talk to parents? Like, Coach K is in the middle of a game. He's doing strategy. Kids on the sideline. He is screaming. Like, it's hard in the moment.
Not his first rodeo.
I'm not saying it is.
He's not a 38-year-old head coach.
But for Coach K to say after the game to the press, I'm going to do what I think's right. Sleep on it, watch the tape, talk to administrators, school president.
Summon the other team over so I can grant them our apology.
It used to be you were allowed as a coach to sleep on it. The media now demands an answer and suspension.
He should have said that last night. Let me sleep on it.
Well, he was imperfect.
Well, but you're now criticizing his timing. I think Coach K did the right thing in terms of handling this. I think the optics of that are horrible. And if that was my son behaving like that out there, I would have taken him. I would have taken him out of the game.
Would he have played in the second half?
No, but I think what we're asking for is that he did something about it, and he did. The timing may not fit what we all think is right, but he did ultimately get to where he had to be. And the high horse you have him on, he came down off the horse and said, you know what? I looked at it, I'm wrong.
And Bob Knight never does that.
I feel like that was kind of forced because last night he was defiant. He said, I'm going to handle it regardless of what you guys think. I'm going to give you guys two examples that I'd like to look at. This summer, Draymond Green played on a team coached by Coach K. Now, if Draymond Green had done that, now he has a history, like Grayson has, as far as doing things with his legs, judgmental call, non-basketball plays on the court. What would have happened to Draymond Green in an international competition in the Olympics in Rio? Or let's just say the opposite. Let's go to Coach Cal. And this was one of his kids who had done this the last couple of years for Kentucky. What would be the backlash that people would be saying today?
He has no control over the program.
Absolutely. So what we do is for Coach K, you know, we kind of give him like, oh, Duke, they're always under control. Well, really? He looked like a kid who was out of control to me, and he looked like a kid who's got anger management problems.
Yes.
I've played with some edgy players, and I saw what they did in the game, but also I saw what they did in practice. So I know that Coach K and that staff have documented incidences of that kid doing things in practice that I would question. That's why I'm concerned why he didn't do anything.
That wasn't edgy. That was a temper tantrum. I get edgy. I understand.
Well, I'm talking about
respect.
with the leg
no,
whip.
I'm with you on it. I respect edgy. I want guys to be edgy.
Absolutely.
I want them to be on. That was a temper tantrum. That was a 5-year-old temper tantrum.
And that's, again, in that moment, Coach K, with all of his experience, this is not an inexperienced coach, and he knows this kid's history. And it clearly, and I'm sympathetic towards the kid, he's got some emotional issues.
No doubt.
There's no doubt about it. And Coach K needed to be in tune with that. Put this kid in a timeout. We'll see you next game. You're not playing in the second half.
This is just a regular game against Elon College. Guy just makes a regular move against him to the baseline. Now, he trapped his arm in a little bit when he made the spin move. There's nothing. I still play competitive basketball. There's nothing in me that would ever tell me to leg whip a guy or to trip a guy.
Yeah. You know, I always felt, it's a little off subject, but if I was a coach, if you really care about the player, wouldn't you always over-penalize? Because it leaves me in the media with no ammo. If I was Coach K, and I as a fault, I would always, like Bob Stoops, over-penalize. Because then if you care about the player gets sympathy. Oh, come on, he's just a kid.
Right.
You can't kick Joe Mixon out of college. Grayson tripped a guy. He didn't punch him in the face. Right. If you care about the kid deeply, as a parent or as a guardian, over-punish. It creates sympathy for the kid. When you go light, like Stoops does, The kid gets death threats.
Well, I think that's where Coach K is at now. That's why they're talking about an indefinite suspension. To me, it should be a one-game suspension and some real counseling, because I'm concerned about the kid. Just like Draymond Green, there's some emotional anger issues. Draymond beat up a kid this summer. He has emotional issues. This kid has a quick trigger.